So overall, do you think like where everything's headed, based on what you know, based on your whole life, are we headed to dystopian or utopian society?
We're headed towards a competition between those two things at a rate that has never before made itself manifest. Like there's more possibility in the positive and negative direction in front of us now than there ever has been, per unit of time. And that's partly just a consequence of technological transformation. Everything's happening so fast. And so things could be radically better than they are. And there's many things moving in that direction. We talked earlier about the amelioration of absolute poverty. Like the UN predicted 10 years ago that at least at the growth rates that were in place then, that we could eradicate absolute poverty by the year 2030, 2035. And that's despite the fact that we'll probably peak out at about 9 billion people. It's clearly the case that there are enough resources to provide every one of 9 billion people with what they need and want and opportunity. We could do that.
Why does that not happen?
It is happening. It is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, there's twice as many people in the world as there was when I was young. The doom-saying prognostications in the 1960s were that we'd have mass starvation by the year 2000. That just simply hasn't happened. Everyone's much richer than they were. And, there's local deviations in that, and there is concentration of wealth and at the hands of a tiny number of people. That's in some ways inevitable, but that's radically positive. We're way more efficient at agricultural production than we once were. We're way better at making more with less, and we're getting better and better at that all the time. So there are lots of reasons to be extremely positive. By the same token, you see developments in places like China, 700 million closed circuit TVs. They're watched all the time. We could build a totalitarian state that made Orwell's worst nightmares look like a romp in the park.